I want you to take a long, hard look, objectively, at your online presence. I'm talking about all of your social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all of your dating apps, and ask yourself objectively, are you somebody that you would want to date? Are you somebody that you would want to introduce to your family or your friends, invite you to work functions, weddings, spend a lot of time planning really thoughtful dates, spending money on you, investing in you, and just treating you overall with respect? Would you be somebody that would qualify for all of those things? Think about if you had a son. The way that you are presenting online through all of your social media platforms and all of the different channels that you present yourself online, would you be somebody that you would want your son or a loved one, a male loved one, to invest their time and energy into? Let's talk about it. My name is FallonFavors. Thank you for joining me for another episode. So the reality is the majority of our lives are spent online. We're talking about the way that we interface with our friends and family on a day-to-day basis. We're talking about the way we interview for jobs, our way of working. A lot of us are working remote now. We're able to digest the news and get new information via online platforms. And most specifically, we date online. We present ourselves in a way where we allow ourselves to be seen for potential suitors for those of us that are on the dating market. The reason why I feel like this conversation is important today is because if we're thinking about how we present online, what our online presence is, especially now also in the age of artificial intelligence, it kind of shows us where we're moving into as far as how we will be seen and how we will interact with each other in the years to come. So if those things are setting the precedence for what we are to look forward to as far as what our lifestyles will look like, we have to take very seriously what our online presence looks like. And if you kind of break it down to the granular, if you're not thinking about how you present for work, which is still a very valid concern considering that your employers or people that you're looking to work with or do business with are also able to see your online presence, but that's neither here nor there in this conversation. But just considering what it is that you're putting out there that people can assume about you just solely based on what it is that they're visualizing. And let's be real, ladies, okay? There are some of us that may not even be in certain industries that would warrant us to present ourselves in a certain way. I'll just say that. And of course, I always try to watch how I move in and out of these conversations because of course I don't mean to offend anybody, but I do have to shoot it straight. And it is apparent that so many of us ladies are presenting ourselves on social media. I don't even know if it is to get the attention of men more so than it is to compete with the other women that are on a lot of these platforms. And the reason why I say, it may be warranted for some women, maybe that's the line of work that they're in. They could be Instagram models, there are other professions and other jobs where those, presentations may be feasible or suitable, or they may bring in the kind of business that they're looking to bring in based on what it is that they're presenting. But the larger majority of women that are on these platforms are not really looking to garner that kind of attention. To be quite honest, many women, which are the kind of women that are watching my videos and getting this information and having these conversations here, a lot of women are women that are enterprising. These are entrepreneurs, these are business women, these are college educated women, these are women that want something more for themselves and for their families, and moreover, women that want to have a substantial, solid partnership with somebody that they really love and care about. So if all of those things considered are true, it would definitely make sense to examine a little bit closer as to how it is that you are presenting yourself online. Now, if you're talking about Instagram, Twitter, all of those things, you could kind of maybe have a little leeway, I would say, potentially, because you're not going into those platforms saying, hey, I'm looking for love here. You're presenting yourself, it's you having fun, you living your life. And of course, we all like to cut loose. We all like to wear a little cute dress every now and again. We like to dance with our friends. We like to do our ratchet things with our ratchet friends or whatever that Glow say. We want to do those things, right? But really what I'm talking about specifically too is like dating profiles. So if you have taken the leap to jump into the dating market via dating websites or apps, you definitely want to pay attention to what you're putting out there on those platforms and on those profiles. To be honest with you, I really don't know all that these platforms entail as far as what it is that you would even be plugging into your dating profile. Is it a group of pictures? Is it just your profile picture? I know that there are some details that you would include, what you're looking for, serious, not so serious, are you looking to casually date, your hobbies, things like that. So I don't know everything that goes into it. I know for your profile picture, at least, you would definitely want to put your best foot forward and look as polished, as clean, and as on point as you possibly can. So even if we just start with that, right? Do you have the kind of profile picture that is showing you just maybe with a natural, very natural smile? You showing yourself with minimal makeup. Your hair is as natural as it can look or can be. Or if you do have some kind of funky hairstyle just because that's your personality, it kind of fits in with your motif and your style, you know? Does it really show through and does it really show up as natural as it possibly can? Or are you kind of in the situation where you have a lot of cleavage showing? You know, are you angling down at your body? Do you have some kind of suggestive photo that is showing your body silhouette? You know, what is the look and the vibe that you're giving off in your picture? These things do matter. All of these things do matter, and we're gonna get into it just in a second about why these things matter, but they do matter. So even if we're gonna now jump into, because again, I don't know how many pictures or how many photos, we're all visual, right? Especially men. So a lot of us wanna see more than just what might be on these dating profiles. So probably if it's me, for sure, if it's me that's gonna be dating somebody online and I see them on a dating app, I'm gonna Google them. I'm gonna Google them. I'm gonna try to pull them up on Instagram. I'm going to try to get a little bit more information before I present myself in public or in person with the person. So if somebody pulls up your Instagram, which I feel like is most relative in this conversation because that's where your pictures are, that's when you can really get a real visual look into what somebody's life looks like before you meet them. So if somebody is going onto your Instagram from your dating profile, depending on what kind of profile picture you have, depending on what information has been also input into your dating profile as well, as far as your hobbies, your interests, what you're looking for, when they bounce over to your Instagram, what does your Instagram say about you? When was the last time you did a scrub through your Instagram just to even see what the vibe was? Or are you just adding to it, not taking inventory, not going back, not doing a rebrand? You just posting whatever you want to post on there, and God only knows what's on there because you haven't even checked back in so many years. You may want to do an audit, okay, of what you have on your social media platforms, because people are definitely going to be looking at you. And this is where I might ruffle a couple of feathers, but I really don't care. If you have, all of these suggestive photos where you are in bikinis all the time, and I'm not talking about a cute bikini photo, you're in Turks and Caicos, you're in a very tropical environment, and you want to get your bikini photo off. I'm not really talking about that, but even in those instances, is your butt turned around to the camera and are you wiggling and jiggling? Are you, bouncing and twerking with the bikini on, or are you just giving body with the sunset, skin glistening in the white beachy sands? Is it more artful? Is it more artistic? Is it more tasteful? Or is it stank? And we all know what that looks like and what that is. We try to play stupid and say, oh no, it's my body and it shouldn't bother anybody. Again, we're gonna get to that in just a second, but it does matter. And if you would be honest, you would be able to say what your intention might have been when doing things while you may be in bikinis or in other kind of suggestive outfits, provocative outfits. You may have more of an idea, if you're really honest with yourself, as to why you chose to wear said thing, or why you were doing what you were doing when you were wearing said thing. We're very smart ladies. We kind of know what we're doing when we're doing it, so spare me. If you have a lot of filters on your photos, if we can't really even see what you genuinely look like, one or two, okay, we do a little touch up here and there. Look, no judgment. But we talking about the heavy one, or on every single picture you have where you're showing like a face shot, you have that on there. Super heavy makeup, the wigs, the elaborate wigs that you would see on a star that's on a stage somewhere. You're wearing it just to go to work, or all of these things are going to matter, and people are going to be looking at these things and making assumptions based on that. And the reason why this is important is because, I told you that I would get to this part. The reason why this is important because women, we far too often, and this was kind of tied into the video that we did last week, we are way too far over on the scale of femininity. And I'm not talking about divine femininity, where we're raising to our highest vibration and we are the divine counterpart to the divine masculine. I'm talking about just feminine energy, unhinged, unevolved, very raw, and we have very selective tendencies in how we look at situations. And so even if I was talking about what I was saying in the beginning, where would you be somebody that you would want to take out? Would you be somebody that you would want to invest in and spend time and money and all of that? A lot of women will say, that doesn't matter. I should be able to dress how I want. I should be able to do what I want. If they don't like it, they're just insecure. This is me. If you're gonna love me, you have to accept me for me and all of me. This is how I like to dress. Does not say that I'm not intelligent. This doesn't say, what my qualities and attributes are. This doesn't speak to those things. This is just what I like to wear and just what I like to put on. And if he can't handle it, and if it's too much for him, then he's not the man for me. And you can kind of see where that conversation goes. But a lot of women do feel that way and feel like men are out of pocket for having opinions or assumptions based on what it is that they see through your social media and online preferences or online platforms. But in the same breath, a lot of women will have preferences and make assumptions about what a woman sees on a man's platform, social media platform. If he is, partying all the time, all of his videos and reels that he has are him taking shots on the weekends with his friends, smoking loud packs, and I don't know what men do, sipping lean or and again, I try not to do the judgy thing, but if that's not what you're into and you're looking for somebody that's healthy, and you're looking for somebody that is doing something and that is productive, if they're showcasing a lifestyle that shows that they are lazy or a bum, or they not really about nothing, or not really doing anything, or they dress bad, or they don't clean up nice, or they may not be educated, or they don't have no money, or whatever the case may be, or if they got a whole bunch of memes on their page, they don't even show up as their full self, you may have some assumptions about that person. Not to say that they're not good people, not to say that they're not nice people, not to say that they're not somebody that you actually may have compatibility with. But if who they're presenting themselves to be serves as a blocker or a barrier for you to even feel comfortable enough to entertain them, that then presents a problem. And a lot of women have double standards when it comes to that, and they feel that they should be able to judge and have preferences for the men that they date or entertain, but men can't have those same preferences for them. And of course, it is a woman's autonomy and choice to be able to say, this is how I want to dress. If a man doesn't like it, he doesn't like it, for sure. But you may want to, again, be a little bit more honest and transparent with yourself to see, is it working? Sometimes we're so fixated on being right, opposed to determining whether or not what we're doing and how we're moving, is it actually working? Is it actually yielding the results that we are looking to bring into our lives? And if it is not, that's when the re-examination needs to happen as to what it is that we're putting forward that may need to be audited or may need to be revised, pulled back, changed, those types of things. So what you can do is, again, take a quick audit through your social media. Look at the pictures where you have the heavy makeup on. Some of us too have learned to do our makeup a little more tastefully over the years as well. Brows have been evolved. I got some pictures, child, of some brows where I'm just kind of like, okay, what was that giving, or what was she trying to do there? But we all have pictures that we look back at and say, okay, what was I on then? Get those pictures out of there. Instagram even has the feature where you can archive the pictures. You don't even have to delete them. So if you ever wanted to pop them back in there for whatever reason, you could screenshot them, save them to a folder, whatever you have to do. But if what you're presenting online doesn't align with what it is that you want and where it is that you want to go, if you want a husband, if you're looking for a husband, and not to say that you're going to find your husband via media, Instagram, you may meet your husband at a golf tournament. You can meet your husband at church. You can meet, it doesn't matter where you meet him, but when he meets you, you best believe if you got some kind of social media platforms or anything available for him to be able to do a little introspection on you, he's gonna look you up. And when he looks you up, what do you want him to see? Not just any man, but a man that you're actually interested in. And again, if you can take your feelings out of it and think about it more objectively than subjectively, you'll be able to see that I want to present myself the best possible way that I can. I don't want anyone to have any kind of misconceptions about who I am, what I stand for, what my values are, what my beliefs are. Those things matter. And the women that have that kind of mindset, that kind of go-getter, get it done, boss mentality, and they know that there are checks and balances that they need to go through in order to get to whatever end goal that they have for themselves, they'll do whatever is necessary. They'll pay people like myself or other people that are in the field to know, okay, what do I need to do? What I need coaching. What do I need to do to get myself in position to get this kind of man, or to do this or to do that? They will position themselves and they will do what needs to be done. And for women that are more of the lazy, victimized type of mentality, entitled, a lot of those things that are really not favorable, a lot of those women will make excuses again and just say, well, if he doesn't appreciate me for me, then oh well. And again, if that works for you, then great. But if you're not yielding the results and you're not attracting the kind of man that you want, you kind of have to look at what's going on there and figure out what you might be able to do to rectify or turn that thing around. So do that audit, look through everything. You can archive pictures that you want to save just for your memories, and any content that you put out here henceforth, make sure it aligns with the women that you want to present yourself to be. These things do matter. We cannot hold on to false beliefs that looks don't matter. When it comes to us and we want our man to be tall, strong, and handsome, and this and that, all of those looks matter then, but for whatever reason, when it comes to us, we feel like they don't, and they most definitely do. And lastly, I'll just say this too, when we're talking about being in the dating market, we want to think about reigning victorious and being victorious. So men are typically more victorious in these spaces because they play the odds. Right? They know that logic-based thinking in a lot of areas serves them the best. And if they know that women are looking for a certain kind of thing, especially the kind of woman that they're looking for, they will do whatever is necessary to meet those requirements. If that means making a certain amount of money, if that means presenting a certain kind of way, keeping themselves clean, driving a certain kind of car, using certain kinds of communication, taking them to certain places, men will do whatever it takes, right? They have that kind of attitude for the woman that they want, or the women, okay, that they want. Women, we have so much ego that we feel that we don't have to modify anything. We can kind of come as is, weight, height, hair color, nails, body, whatever. We can come as is and it's no problem, and we don't have to make any modifications or adjustments based on who it is that we're interested in dating or entertaining. And that is totally off base, ladies. Please get out of that mindset, because that is going to pigeonhole you into only dating a certain kind of man that I know many women that watch my channel of all ages are not probably really interested in entertaining or dating long term. But if you're dressed like a streetwalker, you're using profane language on every video that you have on your platform, you're in clubs all the time, you're smoking, you're drinking, you're twerking, all of these girls trips and vacations and all of this stuff, he's going to play the odds. And even if you are a woman that could fit his criteria of what he really wants for a woman intrinsically, who you are, behind all of what you may present online. Because it's not to say you're still not a solid girl, that you still have attributes that would be valuable to a relationship. But men are going to play the odds. What are the odds that you are that woman? Based on what you're presenting. They're not going to waste their time, especially men that have options, especially men that have access to different women, and they're not going to waste their time. And if it is important for you to date a certain kind of man, then you may want to adjust, okay, as needed and where needed based on what we've discussed today. So just some food for thought. You can let me know how you guys feel about it, but this is some free game that you could definitely use. Okay, thank you so much for joining me for another episode. I love you guys as always. Please drop in the comments. Let me know if this resonated with you. What is your online presence? What does it look like for you? Do you need to do a scrub? When is the last time you did one? Do you even think these things matter? Are you one of the women that feel like, hey, this is how how I'm coming. This is how I like to dress. I dress provocative. I shake that, I do all the things that I want to do. If a man want me, then he's going to have to get with the program. Are you that girl? I would love to hear from you just to kind of get more insight as to why you feel like that, because maybe there's something that I don't know. Maybe you can enlighten me. I'd love to have that discussion. But love you guys. Like, subscribe, share, tap the notification bell, ring the notification bell. I want you to be able to stay tapped in anytime I drop something new. And I will see you guys next week with another hot episode. I love you so much. Peace.